By now, raise them up right now. He's up right now. Yeah.
Week one. Sorry for the squeaky chair. Don't talk about my chair. Don't talk about my chair. So, hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Today's video is a preview of week one. The New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night football. In MetLife, never Jet Life. Giants Stadium. Sunday night football, the biggest game of the week. The New York Giants rivalry game against the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm so excited right now. I am so excited right now. We are 1 week away. We are 1 week away from all of the going back and forth with this fan, that fan, going back and forth with sports media, ESPN, Fox Sports, all those people, man. It's over now. It is absolutely over now. It's time, it's put up a shut up time. Put up a shut up time. So in this video, again, this is going to be the full preview of the game. I'm going to talk about keys to victory. I'm going to talk about players to watch. I'm going to talk about a possible prediction. I'm going to talk about a lot of things when it comes to the New York Giants versus Dallas Cowboys and what it means, what this game means for both teams. For both teams, to start off this season. So first off, I want to say thank you. If you're a big Giants fan, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Share it if you really like the content, but most of all, hit that subscribe button. Don't be one of those people that just watch videos, agree with some of the stuff that's going on, all of the stuff that's going on, but never subscribe. I'm gonna give you some time right now to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. Let's do a quick countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for hitting that subscribe button. Now let's talk about this game. So obviously, the Dallas Cowboys swept us last year. Swept us. We were in each one of those games, but at the end, when the whistle blew and it was all zeros on the scoreboard, the Dallas Cowboys had the victory. No matter how many times the New York Giants led in the fourth quarter, which we did in both games, we couldn't hold out. And you know why? Because at the end of the day, Dallas had a more talented, not even a way more talented roster, and talent prevailed. Talent prevailed. Now, you can still say that the Dallas Cowboys have a more talented roster than the New York Giants, which, I would agree with. But here's the thing. The roster that the New York Giants had last year, go ahead and throw that in the trash, man. Throw that in the trash. The talent level that we have this year compared to last year, it's like an entirely different team. You know why? Because it is an entirely different team. The weapons that we've added, improving on the offensive line, Evan Neal went back to his college coach to practice. Not even his college coach. I'm sorry, not his college coach. He sought out outside help to help himself get back to where he needed to be as far as, progressing and being the right tackle that the New York Giants drafted him to be. And here's the thing. If Evan Neal can show progress and be solid, not even great, solid, the New York Giants are going to be looking really, really good. Really, really good. And here's the other thing. There was a tweet, might even be a month ago. DeMarcus Lawrence from the Dallas Cowboys, pretty much tweeted to Evan Neal talking about he can't wait. Threw a clip up of him beating Evan Neal, getting the sack and things like that. And here's the thing. Put that up on the poster board. Brian Dable, put that on the poster board in the locker room. Blow that up. Blow that up. I need to see a 3x5 picture of that in the locker room. So every time Evan Neal has walked past that, he sees that picture and that tweet of DeMarcus Lawrence pretty much telling him that he's going to whoop him again. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen this year. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen on the face of DeMarcus Lawrence when he realizes that it's not like last year. It's not going to be an easy. This is not going to be one of those swinging doors like it was last year. Evan Neal has been working hard this whole offseason, all of this training camp, for this moment right here. If you don't think that Evan Neal has this thing circled, I don't know what you guys are thinking about. And then after that, you got Micah Parsons with his own tweets talking about Judgment Day or Doomsday coming September. Listen, you can do all the talking that you want to talk. You can have fun on Twitter, fun on social media. You know, get your laughs out now. You got 7 days to get this laughing out of your system. You got 7 days to get this laughing out of your system because, you know what, I just can't wait to see what's going to happen. So the first thing I want to talk about is just some players to watch. And I'm going to talk about the Dallas side first. So I already mentioned, you know, Micah Parsons. I already mentioned DeMarcus Lawrence. So some other guys I want to talk about too. I want to see the safety that they keep talking is going to shut down Darren Waller. Talking about Curse. One thing I've talked about, you know, in spaces, you know, with Dallas fans is that, you know, what is your answer for Darren Waller? Who's going to be your answer for Darren Waller? You got to bracket him. You're going to have to double team Darren Waller. And I've had some people say that they think that Jaron Curse can match up one-on-one with Darren Waller. And you know what? I hope you really do believe that. I hope, not only do I hope the fans believe that, I hope the coaching staff believes that. And I hope they do that, because if they do that, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly for him. I expect him to get bracketed. Also, you know, if you want to go even further back, months back, Micah Parsons said this. He said, you know, on Mondays, when we're about to play the Giants, all we're focusing on is 2-6. All they're focusing on is Saquon Barkley, and rightfully so. Last year, that's what it was. The team was Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, Bellinger at times, Isaiah Hodgins at times, where there wasn't really any threats on the outside, Slayton too, that made the defense worry. And now, if you want to play that 8-man in the box, good luck to you. Good luck. Good luck, Dallas. So some of the other guys I want to talk about, Trayvon Diggs, Tony Pollard. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that run game. You know, CeeDee Lamb, of course, that's CeeDee Lamb. So I'm just worried, not even worried. I'm just wondering exactly how we plan on doing this. Now, Dallas also had the new additions. They had, you know, they picked up the cornerback, Stephon Gilmore. They picked up Brandon Cooks. You know, these, like I said, I think these guys still have some fuel left in the tank. Especially Brandon Cooks. But I like the way that this offense of the Dallas Cowboys, or I should say, I like the way this defense is going to be matching up pretty much, you know, with Dallas. And I like it because of the additions that we made now. Of course, the plan is, or what it seems like the plan is going to be, is moving Adoree Jackson to the nickel. Because we know that Dallas likes to use CeeDee Lamb in a slot a lot. And last year, that's where they killed us a lot, from that slot position. They had Darnay Holmes guarding whoever was in the slot, and Darnay Holmes was getting beat early and often. Now you move Adoree Jackson. You feel comfortable enough with your two young guys on the boundary that you're going to go ahead and put Adoree in the slot to cover a guy like CeeDee Lamb or whoever else they want to put in there. And then you got your matchups on the outside. And listen, these young guys are going to have to grow up fast. But some good additions for the Cowboys. I also like the rookie that they picked up, Mozzie Smith, first rounder. And again, their roster, I'm not going to sit here and act like Dallas doesn't have a roster. Dallas absolutely has a roster. I just think that the New York Giants have a roster now too. And I think that we're very more competitive than what we were last year, to the point where I really think we can beat Dallas, you know, week 1. Okay, so those are my players to watch on the Dallas side. Now for the New York Giants, man, of course, it's going to be Daniel Jones and his offense. What is Daniel Jones going to look like? We saw that short sample size in the Carolina preseason game where we were able to move right down the field and score. That's the Daniel Jones that I'm looking for. That's the Darren Waller that I'm looking for. That's the offense that we're looking for. But the main thing with that is that we didn't see Saquon Barkley all of preseason. They didn't let him play all of preseason. Saquon Barkley has fresh legs, and the first time that the New York Giants fans and everybody else gets to see Saquon Barkley is going to be Sunday night. It's going to be Sunday night. And with the added weapons on the outside, you know, again, You can't play that 8-man in the box, and I think that Saquon Barkley is going to eat because of that. So other guys that I'm looking at on the defensive side, I want to see what Bobby Okereke does. Of course, I want to see Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. I want to see Tibbs for sure. I want to see Tibbs for sure. And here's the thing, and I said it in the spaces too. I said Sunday Night Football, opening weekend, primetime game. If Kayvon Thibodeau wants to be who we think he can be and also who he thinks he can be as well, this is one of those games where you show up. You know, he has to show up in this game. You know, like he showed up in the Commanders game last year, you know, strip, sack, and fumble, the trifecta. I'm just like, I need to see that against the Dallas Cowboys. I need to see that against the Dallas Cowboys. Azeez Ojulari coming off of a injury-filled, hampered 2022 season. I need to see that Azeez is healthy again, because believe it or not, for the people that, you know, don't watch as much or maybe not even think about it, Azeez Ojulari is the best pass rusher on the team right now. Right now. Even with Kayvon Thibodeau on the side, and Kayvon Thibodeau has all of the talent in the world to surpass Azeez Ojulari, but right now, today, Azeez Ojulari is a more skilled pass rusher, more complete pass rusher than Kayvon Thibodeau is. And again, we haven't played the game yet, so we'll see what happens. I could be eating those words very soon. Very soon. But I can't wait to see what these guys can do. These are my players to watch. Also, who I want to add to that list, of course, Evan Neal, John Michael Schmitz. Of course, I want to see what he can do, you know, against a tough front. And if he can hold it down, listen, you already know how I feel about John Michael Schmitz, so I shouldn't even have to get into any more details. And then lastly, the last guy I want to mention is going to be Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt. There's a lot of anticipation for Jalen Hyatt. The man switched his number from 84 to 13. We already know what comes along with that. Obviously, you want him to forge his own path. But you already know, you put that number 13 on New York Giants blue, and you already know what it is. No matter what you say or tell me, this, that, and the third, I understand. It's his own path. He has to walk it. But when you see that number 13, you already know what it is. If anybody tells you any different, they either don't want to tell you or they lying to you. They lying to you. Okay, so next I want to talk about these keys to victory. And people are already laughing. I see you guys laughing right now. You're smiling. Yes, I said keys to victory. Keys for a New York Giants victory. And the main two keys are going to be the same every week. So when you tune in and watch me do these previews every week, the first key is always going to be the main key, and that is being able to run the ball and stop the run. It sounds very, very boring, but that's going to be football, you know, for the 100 years that football's been around. You want to be able to stop the run, and you want to be able to run the ball. That's the fundamentals of football. And that's the thing I have with the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, they let Zeke walk, and I think that they're going to miss Zeke a lot, especially in the run, in the tough yards, the short yards, and also in the pass protection coming from the running back. And I'm looking at Tony Pollard. I'm looking at Deuce Vaughn. I'm looking at the Rico Dowdle, the Rico kid. I'm looking at that, and I'm saying, to me, I'm already thinking that they're not going to have the same success running the ball, you know, with that running back room. Of course, we got to be able to stop the ball, this, that, and the third. And I think that how we approach the offseason with the pickups of Ashawn Robinson and Nunez Roches, and you know, we got DJ Davidson coming back off the ACL. We have Jordan Riley, the 7th round draft pick, who had a fantastic training camp and preseason. We beefed up that defensive line. Also, the pickup of Bobby Okereke and now Isaiah Simmons at the linebacker level. You're talking about quality linebacker play, something we haven't seen in a long, long time. So my only thing that I want to worry about is how we protect the edges, because last year we couldn't set the edge on defense as much as we would like to, or as good as we had hoped to, you know, or as consistently as we hope to. But that's something that we have to do this year, especially with the speed game for the running backs of Dallas now. You have Tony Pollard, who's not, who's different from Zeke. You have Deuce Vaughn, who's a short, shifty guy, and you have the Rico Dowdle guy. So we got to be able to stop the run, not just in the middle, also off the edges. And I think if we can make the Dallas Cowboys one-dimensional, then we can play some type of football. When it comes to making them one-dimensional and telling Dak Prescott to beat us with his arm, that's something that's absolutely possible. But then that's where everything else comes in. So we got to stop the run first, and then we can worry about how we're going to match up on the outside and also in the slot with the cornerbacks versus their wide receivers. But that's the first part of the keys to victory, is being able to stop the run and also run the ball. Now, how do you contain CeeDee Lamb? Now, we saw last year they moved CeeDee Lamb around a lot, but he does a lot of his dirty work in the slots. And we saw last year when we were able to take the lead from Dallas, we saw CeeDee Lamb in the slot, and then they just worked their offense out of that, and CeeDee Lamb had a good time against the New York Giants. Whether it was Darnay Holmes or who else was in there trying to guard him out of the slot, it was not good look. It wasn't a good look for the Giants. And I think this year that's why you see the move with Adoree Jackson getting pushed inside, because I like that matchup a lot better than CeeDee Lamb versus Darnay Holmes, even Cordell Flott right now. I like Adoree Jackson. I like the way he matches up. I think he can match his shiftiness. I think he can match with the speed. I still think CeeDee Lamb is way more physical than Adoree Jackson, but I just like my chances more with him. The veteran experience as well too. I like that. So that's how you try to contain CeeDee Lamb. You go ahead and put your best cornerback on him in the slot and try to slow him down. And then what you do is you hope that the pass rush can get home. You hope that the boundary corners can hold up, and if the boundary corners can hold up, Wink is going to go crazy. He's going to go crazy. Blitz packaging. Now, I don't want to see an elaborate blitz scheme, but I can't tell Wink to do that, because Wink is Wink. Wink is going to wink. That's what he does. He blitzes. I just hope that, again, these guys on the outside, on the boundaries, can hold up. That way the pass rush can get home, because I already know that Dexter Lawrence is going to push that pocket, collapse that pocket. Him and Leonard Williams, they have to get off A'Shawn Robinson on the other side, or if it's going to be Nunez Roches on the other side. I kind of think they were going to be able to collapse the pocket. Well, can the edges get home? Once they push the pocket and they flush Dak Prescott out, whether it's going to be on the left side or the right side, can the edges close and get that pressure and possibly get the sack, or get Dak to make a mistake and get some turnovers? And so that's going to be the second key to victory, is how do you contain CeeDee Lamb, and then the corners holding up, the pass rush getting home, and doing things like that. Now the other thing, I'm going to flip it now, is how do the New York Giants contain the pass rush? Micah Parsons is an absolute monster. He lines up in multiple places. He gets pressure from all of those places, and you have to account for Micah Parsons on every play. So how do you contain this pass rush? And if it was only Micah Parsons that we had to be worried about, then fine. But no, we also have to worry about DeMarcus Lawrence. Now DeMarcus Lawrence already has his chest, poked out from last year, and what he did to Evan Neal. And again, I just told you guys in the beginning of the video, Evan Neal needs to show that he's improved. He needs this game. You know what? I'm going to leave it at Evan Neal needs this game to show, not only to himself, but also to Giants fans and sports media, that, what happened last year is not going to happen again. That's what I need to see out of Evan Neal. And I would love to see the New York Giants run on the first play of the game. Instead of him being reactive to what Lawrence is doing, because I do believe they're going to line Lawrence up on him, to start the game on that side. Instead of him reacting to what Lawrence does, I would like him to be active in attacking DeMarcus Lawrence. Even if you got to run the ball on the first play, I want to see Evan Neal, be the initiator, as far as the initiator for the contact on that side, just for one play. Just for one. Now, listen, we might do a play action. We might decide to do, some slant work. We might decide to put Darren Waller in the slot and work it like that. But I need to see Evan Neal with some confidence. And I think that if you start him moving forward and attacking, DeMarcus Lawrence, that's even better than him possibly trying to react on a pass protection play against DeMarcus Lawrence just on the first play of the game. And we'll see what happens, with that. So I think that in order to slow down this pass rush or contain this pass rush of the Dallas Cowboys is you got to be able to run the ball. You're most likely going to have your tight ends chipping, especially when it comes to Micah Parsons if he's lined up on the outside against your tackle. Maybe not so much for Andrew Thomas because Andrew Thomas has had some success against Micah Parsons, but definitely on the other side where you have Lawrence, if you need a guy to sit there and chip, that'd be one way to do it. The short, quick pass game as well can help counter the quick pass rush of the Dallas Cowboys. And also, how about a successful screen? How about running a successful screen? See, it was hard to run screens in the past, especially when you had 8 men in the box and everybody's focused on Saquon Barkley. It's hard to run a screen that way when everybody's keen on the guy that's supposed to be getting the ball on the screen. But when you add the outside talent, if you show the threat that you can pass the ball and you're willing to take those shots, it's going to back people up. You're going to have less eyes on Saquon Barkley. And then that screenplay can be something that you can sneak in there and be successful with. So I expect to see that this year too, as long as we're able to move the ball on the outside. And that's pretty much, and be successful running the ball. Be successful running the ball. That's how you contain and slow down this pass rush is, the quick game, chipping with the tight ends, good scheme, good blocking, and then also being successful when it comes to running the ball. So that's going to be my keys to victory for the New York Giants, man. Is sustaining long drives, protecting the ball, protecting Daniel Jones, running the ball, getting the short pass game, get a lot of yak too. I expect Paris Campbell to have a good game. My player of the game, believe it or not, is actually on the offensive side. I'm thinking Isaiah Hodgins probably leads this game in receptions. He is a security and a safety blanket for Daniel Jones. And to me, that's where the bread and butter is going to lie. Of course, you have Saquon Barkley. That's who the #1 guy is. But when it comes to the passing game, I think we're going to see a lot of Isaiah Hodgins, a lot of Waller, and then some sneaky receptions from Daniel Bellinger. When everybody else is worried about everybody else, Daniel Bellinger sneaking out into the flat and getting his yardage, converting first downs, being that quality guy instead of a quantity guy, that we need as, tight end too. So that's my keys to victory. And now let's talk about what we think is going to happen in this game. Now, I've been waiting a long time. I've been talking a lot of trash. I am very, very confident with this New York Giants team. And I'm just like, to me, this is a must-win situation. It's really not a must-win situation when you think about how many games you have after this game. But for me, for the morale, for the anticipation that's been building up, for a lot of the New York Giants fans that have been waiting to beat Dallas, this is a division game. Last year we were 1-5 in the division. We got to be able to win in the division, and all of that starts on Sunday night. All of it starts on Sunday night. So that's going to be my preview of Week 1, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. I do have the New York Giants winning. My prediction for that game is 28-20. The New York Giants beat the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night in MetLife, Never Jet Life, Giants Stadium. So I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.